If Meryl Streep hadn't been insulted as ugly, she might never have become the editor-in-chief in The Devil Wears Prada. In March 1975, in Manhattan, New York, a young actress named Meryl Streep walked into the audition room for the remake of King Kong. Producer Dino De Laurentiis whispered to his son in Italian, "Chibruta." Chibruta roughly translates to "how ugly she is," a scornful remark. Meryl Streep fired back in perfect Italian, "Then I guess I'm not right for your movie." Her rejection was certain, but Meryl turned the humiliation she received that day into a research assignment on transformative acting. That night, she sketched 40 different facial expressions in her journal. According to her biography, the journal included the sentence, "I will be remembered not for my face, but for my roles." The following year, Meryl moved to Broadway for Trelawney of the Wells and was nominated for a Tony Award. The New York Times called her a chameleon on stage. In the audience sat Robert De Niro. After the show, he handed her his card and said, "I'd love for you to be in my next movie." That movie was The Deer Hunter, and De Niro personally recommended Meryl to the director. On set, she recorded her lines and listened to them constantly to master a polished accent. At the 1979 Academy Awards, Meryl was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for The Deer Hunter. In the same year, during auditions for the family drama Kramer vs. Kramer, she demanded the right to revise unrealistic lines, and the director accepted. The film went on to gross $173 million worldwide and set a precedent for actor-driven rewrites. In 2006, the pitch for the fashion industry black comedy The Devil Wears Prada arrived at her doorstep. The producers, thinking she was unfamiliar to younger audiences, tried to cut her pay. But Meryl closed the deal with a condition: double the salary, double the transformation. She lowered her voice by an octave and cut her blink rate in half. On the first day of filming, staff recalled, the air froze the moment the character walked in. The film grossed $327 million worldwide, shattering the myth that fashion movies don't sell. And iconic moments like the coat toss, and that's all, became YouTube memes with over 1 billion views. At the 2007 Golden Globes, Meryl Streep gave her acceptance speech. Insults can be fuel. That one scornful remark had sparked an actor's metamorphosis. Now, let's turn back time. What if Meryl Streep had been crushed by that insult? Losing confidence, she might have returned to Yale to become a drama professor. The role in King Kong would have gone to another actress, but critics might have torn the film apart. Robert De Niro may have struggled to find a co-star who could match his emotional depth, and The Deer Hunter might have cut its romantic plot. The Academy might have overlooked The Deer Hunter, and interest in female supporting roles could have dwindled. In the early 1980s, drama producers might have withdrawn investment, believing female-led films don't perform. Kramer vs. Kramer could have been watered down into a courtroom comedy, losing its social resonance. The discussion around single fathers raising children might have been delayed by at least a decade. By the mid-1990s, the lineage of transformative female actors might have never emerged. Cate Blanchett or Sandra Bullock might have lacked role models. And the film adaptation of The Devil Wears Prada might have been shelved due to lack of character weight. Even if another actress took on Miranda Priestly, scenes like the coat toss might never have existed. That's all would have been just a forgotten line in the storyboards. The fashion industry might have continued clinging to caricatured evil boss comedies. A red carpet without Meryl Streep would have been glamorous, but devoid of the message, talent wears the clothes. Hollywood may have never coined the phrase Queen of Transformation. In the early 2000s, Oscar nominee lists might have recycled the same familiar faces, drawing dwindling ratings. Without Streep's signature low-tone delivery, even real-life Vogue editors might have missed the chance to parody themselves. Instead of fashion boss compilations, YouTube might have been filled with King Kong remake fails. Film fans wouldn't have asked, who's the real-life inspiration? And stories about fashion and power may have only risen later on streaming platforms. The casting rule that transformation is about attitude, not appearance, might have arrived a generation too late. Even into the 2020s, female-led dramas might have continued receiving half the budget of male-led action films. And we might still be judging actors by whether they're pretty enough. In short, if no actress had confidently responded to that insult, there might have been no shift at all. But here's what really happened. An actress used an insult as fuel and flipped the entire script. With her nomination for the Deer Hunter and win for Kramer vs. Kramer, Meryl reached the top in just 4 years. From then on, she built her Queen of Transformation brand by embodying 30-plus distinct characters with accents, makeup, and physical reinvention. In 2006, even as producers worried she was unknown to young audiences, The Devil Wears Prada topped the box office with $41 million opening weekend. Miranda Priestly became a cultural icon of 2000's meme culture, and the coat toss gif surpassed 500 million views. The film's success proved that female-led studio films could join the $300 million club. Fashion outlets like Vogue, WWE, and Elle reported that real editors started mimicking Street's voice. After 2010, Meryl expanded the range of mature female roles with The Iron Lady, Doubt, and The Hours. As of 2024, she holds the all-time record, 21 Oscar nominations and 3 wins. Frances Cinematheque digitally exhibited her journals, calling them the source of transformation training. Actor workshops now include insult response drills using the Che Bruta moment as material. Students practice keeping a straight face after hearing insults, reciting Street's famous words. Casting directors now ask not, "How pretty is she?" but "How much can she transform?" In the 2020s, Netflix and HBO are racing to produce series with transformative female leads. Cate Blanchett and Viola Davis have both thanked Meryl in their acceptance speeches for paving the way. Film critics now use the term the Meryl Streep effect to describe genre expansion triggered by one actor's transformation. Aspiring actors still stand before a mirror, sketching 40 facial expressions, reciting from her journal. "I will be remembered not for my face, but for my roles." Because of her, we now meet female characters in romance, thrillers, and comedies that are layered, nuanced, and unforgettable. Though many say the more awards you have, the heavier they get, Meryl says, "I value the scenes more than the trophies." Audiences remember her not for her face, but by the names of the roles she played. The weight of looks has diminished. The power of performance has grown. That King Kong rejection wasn't the end. It was the anchor to a whole new narrative. A small act of defiance reshaped the long current of cinema history. Behind every iconic line you hear, there may be a forgotten failure. So then, was it really a failure or beginning? Like Meryl's story shows, even insults can become fuel. So let's reframe the question. What will you turn your moments of insult and small failures into? Even now, someone may be trying to put you in a box. But it's not their words that define you, it's your response. A small decision can become a big turning point. The transformation has already begun. The next scene hasn't been filmed yet. And you could be its star. The attitude of one actress who refused to crumble after being called ugly changed everything. From 21 Oscar nominations to a global fashion meme. And hitting that subscribe button right now might just change the next scene of your life. At the very least, it'll change your algorithm.